What's happening, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. KG is back. Huge match preview coming up for a huge game this weekend in the Premier League. Almost a six-pointer. Almost a six-pointer, isn't it? I guess it is kind of a six-pointer. But Everton versus Leeds United is the what we're talking about today. We all we also have a new contract extension to announce as well. And yeah, listen, we'll get into all that in just a second. As always, have to do the housekeeping. Please hit a like on the video, subscribe if you're not subscribed, drop your comments on the video below. Big shout out as well to Joel Rosa, Liam Moore, and Mr. P for the super thanks on the last video. Appreciate the donations. And Crandalb as a new member. I believe that's how you say it, Crandalb. But thank you for becoming a member of the channel. Memberships are in the link in the description. So if you want to join, please do so. Listen, I'm live and direct. Let's go. I see everyone's got a few jokes in there about the Ayling extension. So yeah, let's just start there and then we'll go on to the game afterwards. So Luke Ayling has had his contract extended until 2024 next season. So he's going to be here for another year. And Shane's here asking why not wait until the end of the season to extend Ayling's contract. He was obviously playing for an extension with the last two good performances. And Ashley said it here, Shane, probably to keep fans happy as everything else falls apart. And there's a mix of a few things with this Ayling extension, and that is it is definitely a PR move because of what's happened over the last week or so with the manager thing. It's definitely to appease fans, because you know how it is. It's the family and the promotion group will always have a big, large amounts of support, and he has played well over the last couple of days. But the other thing is that, as Shane says, why not wait until the end of the season? I do think it was too soon, but I see a few different scenarios with this one now, and I kind of said it a couple videos ago, in that if he's to stay, as long as he's a backup and we get in a real right back, I'm all right with it. I'm all right with it, because I also have to be realistic and know that this isn't Football Manager and that we have two top right backs dueling it out when we've got no European football. So I do take that into account as well. And there are things here. I mean, Skabala even mentioned it today in regards to his leadership and everything else and all that. And that is a factor that you do need in the dressing room. I'm not going to even deny that. Players have told me that as well, that it's good to have those kind of people in the room. And that's cool. But the only thing is, for me, I do not want to see him as our starting right back next season. And because of the games that we have, we'll just be in the league, hopefully the Premier League, and cup games. So the new right back, whoever that is, should play the majority of the games. Him as a backup, I'll take it, because at this point in time, I will say this. I think that Rasmus may be on his way out. I don't know. I don't know how you guys feel. Let me know. But unless he and Leeds are going to give it another go next season, I can kind of see him making an exit this summer, which, it wouldn't be surprising, because it really hasn't worked out. And you've looked over the last, Marsh and even Skabala haven't been playing him. He's not even getting on a sub. So you do wonder if his time is up. You got Cody Drame. I don't see Cody going through this again with a third manager who's going to say, hey, I'm going to play you, and then he doesn't end up getting played. So at this point in time, this is how I just see it currently. They may change it, of course, and Drame could sign a new deal. But I just see Drame and Rasmus both exiting, Luke staying, obviously, but we get in a proper right back. Proper right back. And Matt here, not good when Ayling is keeping Rasmus House Drama back next season for me. Yeah, that's how I would do it. But again, this is about humans, and Cody Drama has been through this at this club with two different coaches now, where it just hasn't worked out. And as much as Jesse would like to say he had a good relationship with Cody, in the end, he still didn't play Cody. And you've got to remember before, and I need people to remember before the two games against Man United, how average Luke Ayling was defensively. He wasn't that good. He wasn't making the position his own. Rasmus certainly wasn't making the position his own, and Cody still couldn't get game time. So I do see Cody. I don't see how Cody signs a new contract this summer, possibly goes out on loan another year, or just signs a new contract anyway and takes the risk of being another third choice right back. I don't see it. So I do see both of them going, but we need to get in a real one. Because listen, Luke, for me, and people are saying he's playing well. He is playing well. right now. And but Bubs is right as well. He was shocking last year. He was, and that's the one thing I will say as an out and out right back in the Premier League, doing it week in week out. He starts for nobody else, people, and that's the reality. You know, it's not a fact, but my opinion is when you go through all the teams in the league, even Southampton who are bottom, he doesn't get in over Carl Walker Peters. No chance. So that's where we are with Luke. I think it's more of a morale boost for the fan base, the majority of the fan base that, are passion merchants. And let's face it, there's more passion merchants than there are football heads in the fan base, I'm sorry to say. So it's going to appease those people. But I hope that it doesn't stop us from going for a real right back in the summer, one that can get up and down and won't stop defending after 80 minutes. So, yeah, listen, it's not my ideal choice, but I kind of do get it at this point, especially with the saga with the whole manager thing. What is everyone saying in regards to about Luke Ayling? Let me know in the chat right now, and obviously in the comments afterwards. Mark is saying you can't go back to last year. He's playing well now. That's what counts. But I mean, that's 2 games, Mark. I mean, okay, but fair enough. Fair enough. Uh, Matt is saying Prem is all about pace, which exposes Luke. It does. I mean, you saw the troubles that he had. But listen, the 2 games that he previously had, I still think Sundays was the better one than the one at Old Trafford. Like I say, I thought he got tired very, very quickly in the second half at Old Trafford. But the first game, I thought he was absolutely fine. I think he handled Rashford pretty well. Rashford did score in the end, but that wasn't on him. I just feel like overall, when you've seen his performances this season, it's not like how Firpo gets accused of being caught out of position a lot, which is true. But Luke Ayling just stops defending because he's tired. That happens as well. So again, as a backup option, okay, gotta live with it. But please bring me a real right back in the summer, please. Karen is saying surprised by the extension. I'm not surprised though, Karen, because we've seen how the club has operated, especially since we've been promoted. It is more of like a vibes, family thing, and let's keep everyone as happy as possible. And I truly believe as well, by the way, people, if Adam Forshaw was fit and had 2 good heat map games, that he'd probably get an extension too. I do believe that. Mick saying he's got to play well for more than 2 games. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Gavin saying Luke good for the dressing room just now. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. AFV saying Ayling is to keep the memory lane brigade happy. Yeah, I haven't got an issue as long as he's keeping the bench full. That's what I mean. As long as you get another right back who will play the majority of the games, I'm fine with it. I'm absolutely fine with it because I realize we're not in Europe, so we don't need 2 out and out quality right backs to battle it out. But we do need one who is going to be an athletic right back. And what I always say to people who say that Ayling is Premier League quality, just watch other teams' games and watch other right backs, and you see the performances that we got out of him in the last 2 games. Other teams are getting those pretty much week in, week out. That's the level that you have to be at to be a constant, consistent, good defender in the Prem. But yeah, listen, that is it. That is it with Luke Ayling. Obviously, give me your thoughts in the comments after, and yeah, if you're happy or not, whatever that may be. But listen, we have to go on to the game now. We have to go onto the game because hold on. Just before we move on, Gavin saying sounds like he goes on a free in 2024 like Clicky. I think either way, Gavin, whether it was this summer or next summer, I just don't see us getting a fee from the kind of clubs that would come in for Luke Ayling. So it really doesn't matter with Luke Ayling as an asset. And plus, anyway, at 31, it's the sell-on thing isn't so important for him. It's not really that important for him. Whereas I think we could have got some money for Mateus Glick. I do. I think he still had a bit of a reputation around. I don't think Luke Ayling's got that. So I don't think the clubs that we could have possibly sold him to wouldn't have been able to afford him anyway. So I think it doesn't matter if he goes on a free next summer now. And Ed, please stop. Brandon Williams is not coming here. Let's have a look. What's this leave? Yeah. I hear you. I hear you. But listen, let's talk about the game. Let's talk about the game. because I am both excited and nervous as hell for this game. I'm both. Like, I can't wait for Saturday at 3 o'clock British time, of course. People around the world, it starts at a different time for you, I know, but Greenwich Mean Time, 3 o'clock. I'm excited and nervous at the same time. I can't wait. We didn't get too much from Skubala in the press conference, as you can imagine. Rucker and Cooper are doubts, so I would probably say they're not going to make it. So it will probably be Harrison in there again. Sinistera is going to be out a little bit longer with the muscle injury, so he's not as close as Rucker and Cooper are. But I listened to Sean Dyche as well. The only team news I got from him is that Dominic Calvert-Lewin is out. So it sounds like he's probably got a fully fit team to pick from, apart from DCL, which means Mopai will probably play. But what I'm saying in regards to that, I know some of you are worried about Mopai because he's got a good record against Leeds. Everton has scored 16 goals all season. You know what I mean? And now I can hear people saying, but Leeds will help you change that. I know. It's just so nerve-wracking, this game. It's huge, isn't it? I want us to go there this Saturday and put the performance on that just shuts everybody in Goodison up. I need that early goal because we seem to start off very, very hot and heavy. We need to start off well and actually put the ball in the net and put them under pressure. Listen, Everton fans will be doing another protest before the game. Let's keep them unsettled. Let's keep them in that agitated state of mind and get at them. You know what I mean? I know. Yeah, same every week. Excited. Then 60 minutes into the game, I'm hiding. I know. I get it. Nabino saying it's 2 a.m. in Melbourne. I know. Mad times, you got to watch your sports, in it. It's mad times what we do for sports. But listen, we have to win this game. I know some people have been saying to me a point would be good, and I do get it. A point would not be the end of the world. But I think in terms of confidence, in terms of Skubala as well, getting a win, a first win under his current leadership, we do need to get 3 points. And it's possible. I know people are scared of the Sean Dyche factor, but I still look at their team and think, on paper, I would much rather have our team. I would. You know what I mean? I think, we got to do this. We got to do this. But there's always that possibility of Leeds doing what we do, going there and getting eaten up by the occasion. And for me, oh no, they can't allow that to happen. They've got to stand up and be counted. And much like I said in my last stream as well, this now has to go on the players. Skubala is Skubala. He's not a Premier League manager. I mean, he currently is now, but he's not the first choice. This is on the players now who have been underperforming in totality for 2 years now. So this is on them to prove that they want it. I don't know if you guys have seen it as well, by the way, if Darren Farley's skit about who wants to be Leeds United manager. It's pretty funny. So I'd urge you to check that one out. It's pretty good. But we need to be counted here. And just think, 3 points, we cut adrift Everton even more, and we go into a home game against Southampton with massive confidence. By the way, I don't know if everyone doesn't know by now, but Jesse Marsch isn't going to be manager of Southampton, so that storyline has evaporated. But yeah, we got to do this. We have to be positive, be defensively resolute. And Mr. P, who's a big supporter of the channel, shout out to him, made a good point about just being a bit more aggressive in the air. And we know Sean Dyche was talking about today about set pieces. We need both Robin Koch and Verba to be more aggressive in the air. Rashford did beat them in the air a couple of times, but we need to get on them because Everton will be using set pieces as one of their main weapons to score. Like I say, they've scored 16 goals all season, people. So we shouldn't be scared of this game, but it's just the circumstances, the weight of expectations on the players. We know it can swallow some of them up sometimes. We got to win. We got to win. Paolo is saying score first, then go for the jugular. That will knock them. Yeah, I mean, listen, we score early, then puts the onus on Everton to come at us. But if they score first, it's then about us breaking them down. And overall this season, we haven't been that good at breaking teams down when they've sat back. So we do need to score first in this game for me, just personally. Tapping Toes. I'm looking forward to the Southampton game. Toes, you know what? This is the other end of the table, but you know what, man? You should go and see if Antonio Conte is even booked a return ticket to England because I don't think he's coming back, mate. But shout out to Toes. Paolo saying no early yellow cards would be nice. Stay disciplined. Yeah, listen, our two in the midfield, McKennie and Adams, they're going to be combative, and they're going to have to be against Onana, against Decore, and against Ghana. He's going. That's a real good battle coming up. But yeah, they need to be a bit more disciplined. Maybe save the yellow cards for the second half if possible. But they're going to have to get stuck in. It's going to be one of those games. Sean Dyche today was talking about how they weren't as aggressive in the Liverpool game. So be sure that it's going to be one of those kind of games on Saturday. It's going to be mad. It's going to be mad. But as Nabino says here, we seem to forget about the quality you have. I don't, Nabino, and that's why I feel like we should go for the win here. They don't have a Nanto, they don't have a Somerville. And listen, if Bamford is going to lead the line again, he's going to need to occupy Tarkowski and Cody, and he can do that. Tarkowski and Cody, I know a lot of you rate them. They're regular defenders, man. They're just regular Joes in defense. They're nothing special. So Bamford, keep them occupied. Let Nanto and Somerville do their thing. Everton, on the other hand, have who's the guy? Iwobi, Damari Gray. I mean, these are a lot of people who are very inconsistent, very, very inconsistent. Tobes is always saying, I agree, midfield battle will be interesting as Everton won't be able to bully you like they did with Arsenal. I think no DCO is massive for them. Yeah, I mean, listen, they're going to be rolling with Mopé up front. You've got to take advantage of our defenders, not have a night off, not have an afternoon off, but that's going to be much easier than coping with DCL. So there's a lot of things in our favor that can allow us to get 3 points on Saturday. And Paolo, I was just about to mention this, but shout out to you, Aronson or Harrison for this one. I personally would probably go with Aronson overall because I think he's done pretty well. And I think that him, McKennie, and Adams could be the trio that we need in the midfield. We're going to need Aronson's endeavour and energy too. And I think he's done pretty well since he's had a bit of a breakout of the team. I think he's improved a bit. So, and Harrison for me has been more impactful, if you like, coming off the bench. So I would start Aronson personally, but I don't think it's going to happen. Bob's is saying show some respect to McNeil. McNeil hype. And Tobes knows all about it. McNeil's awful, man. Awful, awful player. Just so average. I don't care if he scores now. He's still a bad player. Nida, I'm just saying Nida. Hopefully Somerville has been practicing his shooting all week. Yeah, listen, he had a few chances, but what I would say to that is, De Gea is a level above Pickford. So if he gets some of those on target again, he probably scores. But we need to get Nanto in the game a bit more as well, because he didn't get into the game until around 60-ish minutes in the game at Ellen Road. And then once that happened, Ten Hag then decides to bring on Wan-Bissaka and he shut up shop. So he's gonna have to. I know, Tobes. I was right. I know. Dave saying don't play Cooper liability. I don't know if he's going to be fit, but I just wouldn't change the back two of Cock and Verba. I just wouldn't do it. I think they're going to get better as it goes along, and I don't see Verba having another clanger like he did against Man United last week. He was pretty poor, but he'll be back. Darren, attack Seamus Coleman. There's so many weak spots. Nathan Patterson was pretty decent for them, but he's had a few injury issues since he's joined Everton. But there's so many things. Nanto versus Seamus Coleman. I mean, that should be a wrap. It really should be a wrap on that one. You know what I mean? But Matt saying can see Pascal coming in over Junior Firpo for heading set pieces. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, Pascal has progressed since his concussion. Since coming out of concussion protocol, I should say. So we'll see if he comes in. I wouldn't mind seeing Pascal back in at left back. Just give us a bit more solidity at the back, and like you say, another threat and set pieces. So yeah, it's going to be interesting, isn't it? It's going to be interesting. Lucas is saying, I like to see Rutter and Bamford together, Rutter in the 10. Yeah, again, but I don't see giving Jorginho a start. I don't see him doing that. I think it would probably be Harrison, then Aronson, and then probably Jorginho at this point. But we'll see. We'll see what will happen. Nabinho, though, saying give Firpo another go this week purely for the pace. Yeah, that's what I mean. This is why it's so frustrating where we are on the table, man, and how we're mixing with Everton and could possibly go below him with a loss. But Firpo will give us an option going forward, a more natural option. But it all depends if Skubala sees it being more of a two attacking or bringing in Strack to just be a little bit more solid defensively. But again, I wouldn't be mad at seeing Firpo starting because I think he's done pretty well in recent weeks. I think he's been pretty good actually. So, but yeah, listen, people, let's get into score predictions. Let's just get into it, man. Let's get into it. What is everyone saying for score predictions? And obviously, if you're watching the replay, please put your score predictions in the comments below. Yeah, Bubs, I agree. 6 points. I want 6 points from the next two games. Matt saying who would get in our team out of Everton? I take Anana. I take Anana. I definitely would take him. He's a good player. Jim is saying 2-0 Leeds. David Carter saying 2-0 to Everton, I guess. Allison saying 1-1. Enzio saying 2-0 Leeds. Jonathan, 2-0 Leeds should be comfortable. Leeds. Listen, look at this. Look at this pagan now. You see what I mean? Toes, you know what, man? You see when you do your preview with Lawless, I'm going to be looking out for that. In fact, no, I need you to beat West Ham. Never mind that. No, I take it back. Spurs, please beat West Ham. But Toes is saying Dyche can do it 2-1 Everton. A nervy 1-0 win. Leeds win 2-1. Andrew saying, unfortunately, I think 2-1 Everton. Yeah, listen, I mean, I've been going back and forth with this, and the score prediction, the score that I see in my head, and I'm gonna have to say it. I'm gonna have to say it, man. 2-1 to Leeds. 2-1 Leeds. I think we're gonna win it. I did have 2-0 to Leeds, but then I just think a clean sheet. I don't know. I don't know. You know what? Screw it, man. 2-0 Leeds. Let's go. Let's go for a hard fought 2-0 win away from home. And listen, we'll go for that one. Matt's saying 1-0 to Everton. Damn. He just doesn't have the faith. No problem. Bandy here saying, let's stop this lone striker nonsense. Let's be aggressive with two strikers. Okay. Paul Gray saying, only won once there in Premier League history. Even when Everton were poor in the 90s, we couldn't win there. Look, history hype. You know, it's different now. You know, it's a different game, different teams. You know, there's no Kuhl, there's no Bowyer anymore. You know, there's no who for them. Cadamartri, Big Ferguson. You know, come on, different times now. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, Ian saying we have to win, no ifs and buts. Yeah, yeah. Econ here saying who scores for Everton with DCI out? Tarkowski from a set piece. Yeah, probably Econ. But yeah, you know what? No, I can't go 2-0. I can't. I can't see a clean sheet for us. So yeah, I'm gonna go back to 2-1. That's my final answer. All right. 2-1. Nigel saying Bamford owes us a performance. So does Harrison, Nigel, especially if he gets another start. You know, this is what I mean. There's so many players here that have to step up. Bamford is certainly one. Nigel, he definitely has to do better than he did at the start of before he got subbed off against Man U. But Harrison has been getting starts since his failed move to Leicester, and he hasn't really repaid the faith. So if he's starting again, I expect to see him turn up too. And like I say, David, yeah, onus is on the players. Absolutely. There's no blaming Scoops for this one. You know, he's a novice coach. This is on these players now that have got rid of two coaches. Let's see what they can do. All right. But listen, people, I'm going to leave it there for the preview. Hit the likes before you go. Hit the likes on the replay. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Drop your comments below. And I will see you for the match reaction on Saturday. The link is in for the match reaction is in the description too, if you want to press the notification on that too. So yes, come on, Leeds. Do not let me down, please. Please, please, please do not let me and everybody else that's watching this down. Please don't do it. Leeds to win. Come on. I'll see you on Saturday.